Welcome to Talk to the Hand Review. Let me hear you say hey, hey, hey. Now take it easy. Just hands in the front, hands in the front. Hands in the front. Oh, things are just redonkulous here at Talk to the Hand Reviews. I want to thank you for showing up to say hi. Hi! Say hi back. Come on now. Hi! Oh, thank you very much. You know, that makes me feel very good. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming to see me. I'm so excited about today's video because there's always like, oh, what fragrances do you wear for spring? What fragrances do you wear for summer? What do you wear for fall? What do you wear for winter? And a lot of people tend to have ideas about what kinds of fragrances to wear during those times. And see, I don't normally follow those kind of rules. I'll wear whatever I want to, whenever I want to. Thank you very much. However, it occurred to me that, a lot of people associate, like fragrances that are more lemony or limey or fresh floral, like, lily of the valley kind of thing for the spring and the summer. And for the fall and the winter, people tend to go more towards the darker, the more musky, maybe the more woodsy, those kinds of fragrances. But I realized when I was going through my collection, looking for fragrances, to talk about for spring or summer or fall or winter, I realized there are a number of my fragrances that are kind of hard to pigeonhole. They are the kind of fragrances that I think really are appropriate for any time of year. So without further going on and on, here we go. So the first fragrance that I think fills that bill nicely is Princess Marina de Bourbon, which is she's an actual princess with her own fragrance company. This is, the top to me is like a really strong peach. And then like undefined green. But it's not really, really fresh. Some people have said that this reminds them of Christmas, but I wouldn't say it has any, traditionally Christmassy types of elements to it. But this is just a very classy fragrance, yet it's proper. It's prim and proper, but it's just a hidden gem, I think. I mean, it's gorgeous in this cap. So Princess Marina de Bourbon, from an actual Princess Marina de Bourbon. From another interesting independent design house, this is Vicky Tiel Sirene. Look at this bottle. Look at the beautiful little ladies on it. Look at these beautiful little ladies on it. It's a gorgeous bottle. The top is plastic, but look how it's got a shell that sort of looks like the Venus de Milo. Okay, and Vicky Tiel is an interesting person. She's an author and obviously a fragrance designer. So this fragrance, I blind bought it. And okay, this just is like a very, very give it to you sexy type of fragrance. I mean, I think this is a fragrance to be worn when you want to be noticed by a person that you are interested in, I think. Now, that said, I think some people could think there's something about this that maybe smells a little bit maybe on the cheap side, but I feel really, really bad saying that because I love the way this smells. But I think some people might equate something in this to some other things that maybe it smells like nothing that I've ever smelled. But it's just, look at the gorgeous juice, and I love it. I think the word for this fragrance to me is, okay, I'm really sorry in advance because I don't like to use, you know, unfavorable words for anybody, but this is like a sexy, trampy type of fragrance. This is just a fragrance. I think this fragrance is so sexy. And when I wear it, it feels like the most sexy little, what's the word, coquettish, flirty, just feminine, womanly. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And I really like it. Vicky Tiel Sirene. And it's a strong floral. And so I think for that reason, it can be worn any time of year. And it's got some like juicy, dark, fruity notes in it, kind of like, you know, preserved fruits, or like something like some kind of like aged alcohol, like a brandy or something like that. But yeah, Sirene, Vicky Tiel. Okay, this is a little cutie. English Laundry #1 for women. It doesn't say for women, it's just English Laundry, the first fragrance for women, I believe. This is this beautiful cross, you know, a really good little travel fragrance. I think you can do anything in this fragrance. I mean, it's fresh and lively enough to be a friendly day fragrance, yet it's got these undertones to it, these, I assume it's bass notes, that make it something else. Like there's more, like, I don't want to say musk, but some kind of really nice woods, something in there that I just think that makes this hard to defy the right season for it. And I think it makes it a good all season fragrance. English Laundry by Christopher Wicks. Okay, this is the unique fragrance. Roger and Gallet Fleur d'Osmanthus. There's something about this fragrance that is really elegantly somber and like a little bit mournful. And I've always felt that way about this one. But because of that, even though it's got some fresh elements, it's like dried leaves, you know? Dried leaves, it's vegetation, but it's not alive. It's got a different vibe to it. It's got more of a, you know, what would I call it? A necrotic vibe, more of a death vibe, a little bit. It's got a freshness to it, but it's fresh like funeral flowers. It doesn't smell like funeral flowers necessarily, but it's suggestive of just something, I think, dark, not dark like negative, just dark like somehow somber. That's the only way I can really, the only word I can really think of it. Yeah, and great for any time of year. Roger and Gallet Fleur d'Osmanthus. First Snow from Victorinox. This is a really unique fragrance. Okay, it's like one of the most, I mean, everyone's different, but in my opinion, this fragrance has one of the most interesting top, middle to base notes progressions, because the first thing that I notice when I spray this is there's something really, really fresh. It's fresh against the nose, like it's eucalyptus is what it is, but I know when I recognize that crispness, it's eucalyptus, but that fades away, and then it gradually, not so gradually, but it moves along to finally, it's this really, it just smells like a strong vanilla type of, like a more woody vanilla base. And I don't remember what's in these. This is just my opinion of what these smell like. So Victorinox First Snow, it's a very interesting fragrance. And it's also kind of cool because the juice, is like, it's got a snowy color to it. So I know the suggestion is a wintertime fragrance, First Snow. But really what I take away from it more is First Snow being a fresh blast, you know, but then after that, it becomes something much warmer. So I just think this is a really good any time of year fragrance. I don't reach for this one very often because the dry down, it's not, the beginning I love, but I find the dry down, I don't know, a little bit too, it's just a little bit too heady for me. It's a little too strong, to use an ambiguous word. Strong, it's strong. What about it is strong? Well, I don't know, it's strong. Anyways, First Snow by Victorinox. Bob Mackie! Bob Mackie, do you know who he was? Oh, I'm so sorry, no. Do you know who he is? Because he's still around. He's this famous designer. If you ever know about Cher, he designed a lot of those gowns that Cher wore on her show. And the funniest thing I heard, because I watched a lot of behind the scenes behind the scenes of the Carol Burnett show, and I love Carol Burnett. She's just like amazing. But she said that Bob Mackie told her, oh, did you know that for the new girl Cher, we've been raiding the dressing room of your costumes so Cher could wear them. And he didn't tell her that until years later. And he said, did you know that? And she said no, but she didn't care, you know, she's really nice. Anyways, Bob Mackie, he also designed, or he co-designed that famous happy birthday, Mr. President. Oh, I could do better than that. Come on now. I love Marilyn. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Oh, I love you, Marilyn. She is awesome. Anyways, he designed or co-designed that famous dress that she was singing that in. I know, she was singing that song in that famous dress. I think they call it the nude dress. Anyways, I digress. Getting back to Bob Mackie. So this is a very, very loud floral fragrance. Among the loudest, and it's also another one that used to be expensive but is now more affordable. Because back when I used to work in fragrance and cosmetics, this fragrance was around and you could only get it behind the counter. So, I mean, nowadays people regard these fragrances, you know, sometimes as cheap. Oh, it's cheap. I'm sorry, honey. No. But it is more affordable now. But when it was created, it was created to be one of those expensive fragrances that people could only go to the department store to get. So this is just a really strong fruity floral. So I feel like a strong fruity floral is going to cut through winter and fall and still be warm and inviting. So yeah, Bob Mackie, darling, now I really must tell you, this is one of my absolutely favorite fragrances of my life in the world. I don't know why I decided to do that. It just came out. Anyways. Gallet Blue, oh my gosh, I mean, this is a masterpiece. It's a powdery floral. It's just the most grand type of white flowers type of fragrance. And I have this story about this one when I was, forgive me if you've heard this before, because I know I have a tendency to sometimes retell stories. I don't know if this audience has ever heard this story, but I want to tell people this thing, you know. So anyways, here we go. When my first job I ever had, I worked in a doll museum. And in that doll museum, I worked with the owner's sister-in-law, who was quite old. She was in her, I believe she was in her 80s. And she liked to still look nice. She always made sure her hair was looked nice. Her hair looked nice. So she would come and work part-time in the doll museum with me. And her name was Louise. She was from Louisiana. And everyone said, oh, when she was young, she was really gorgeous. She was like the most beautiful woman that you ever saw, you know. But anyways, I digress. One time she came to work, she walked across the entrance in the wax museum, and I smelled this. And oh my gosh, my little brain freaked out. And I said, Louise, what is that fragrance? Or I probably said, what perfume? You know, I don't know what I said, but I was like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. And she said, oh, that's Guerlain's Blue Hour. Exactly like that. That's Guerlain's Blue Hour. And I remembered how good that smelled. So years later, I bought some for myself. And still am. This is one of my favorites. This is like in my top 5 favorite fragrances of all time of my life. These are absolutely what I would anyway. It's so amazing. Gallet Fleur. Okay, this is an oldie that this is an oldie. It's not that old. I mean, it's not like 35 years old like a lot of my fragrances are. Like a lot of my favorite fragrances are. But this one, I recently got it, and I remembered smelling it when I was younger, and I worked behind the counter for Dior Cosmetics and in a department store. And at the time we had Tendre Poisson. It was one of our newest fragrances. I think it was right before Dune. And I liked that fragrance, but it was just too heady for me. It was something about it. And I love Dior fragrances, but a lot of them I have found them to be that way, except for just a few. They're incredible quality, and you can smell it. Like, well, I'm talking about way back then even. Since then, they've just gone crazy with releasing more fragrances. But back then, these companies didn't release fragrances very often, and nobody knew what a flanker was. Never know. Anyways, I digressed. Okay, so I heard that, okay, this fragrance I got very reasonably priced, and it is from an extremely well-known, well-respected designer. When this fragrance first came out, when this company never was ever thought of as as an affordable company, it is Gres Cabotine. Oh my gosh, this is a gorgeous floral. It is a gorgeous green floral, and it smells the way I remember Tendre Poison smelling. However, I think Tendre Poison, if Tendre Poison had smelled like this, I think I would have liked it more, because it's just lighter. Like, I find so many of the older Dior fragrances that were around when I was working behind the counter for Dior. It was like Diorissimo, Diorella, Tendre Poisson, Original Poisson, Original Poisson. Anyways, I love this, and I just think this is a very forward green floral that just it reminds me slightly of this great fragrance that is discontinued now. It's called Chloe Narcisse. It's a bit like that. It's just a very heady floral that it doesn't smell so fresh. It just smells sexy, I think. This is just an extremely sophisticated fragrance. By the way, if anything just changed, I ran out of memory and I had to go like do things really fast and had to get my husband to help me just so I could move it along, because it's late. You know, I get started so late, folks. Anyways, I'm digressing. Okay, Cabotine by Gres, maker of the well-known Cabochard, which that one's not really for me, but this one sure is. And it's just a gorgeous, if you like Dior Tendre Poisson, you probably like this one too. Okay, here's an unexpected little sweetie pie. This is Histoire d'Amour from Abusson. This is from this house is another independent house that still makes great fragrances. And I love this gorgeous bottle. Okay, if you like Chanel number 19, if you like Anne Klein Blazer, if you like anything that's is sort of like reminiscent of dried leaves and dried flowers, sort of, not in like an organic, you know, like all natural store way, but like a perfumey way. Like I don't remember what's in this, but you know, there's probably some aldehydes and stuff in there to give it an uplifting. So this is fresh enough to be a spring summer, but warm enough, warm and inviting and cozy enough to be a fall winter. Love story, Histoire d'Amour from Abusson. And this is the last one. I want to thank you so much for coming to see me, my lovely ladies and handsome gents. And I hope that you will come and see me again, because I really have fun doing this. And I know a lot of you are really enthusiastic about this stuff. And so we kind of get to be all, you know, kind of get to geek out on this stuff, which is really fun. And you know, when I was doing this when this wasn't cool, people. I remember when I worked behind the counter, it's off and on for 10 years. I worked in cosmetics and fragrance, different jobs. And I would avoid telling people, because when I did, a lot of times I would get this reply like, oh, you must be stuck up. And people were not into, you know, fragrance and beauty products culture like they are now. I mean, people are really knowledgeable about this stuff now. Anyways, I'm digressing again. Okay, the last fragrance is Versace Woman. This was just an unexpected little cutie pie. I think it's gorgeous. It looks like a little magic wand. And it smells like a sophisticated lady, hun. I feel like, I don't remember what's in it again, but I feel like there's a lot of like, it's got some citrus, but then it's got like something purple. Like is suggested here by this beautiful little glass talisman. But this is just a very sophisticated, I can't say, it's fresh, but there's a warmth to it. And it is kind of a strongish floral. Yeah, beautiful. Little cute little jewels. Oh, Versace Woman. So that's a fun group of fragrances that, in my opinion, seem like they're kind of not classifiable by season. I think that they're appropriate for any and all seasons. So thanks so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye!